You know, I'm not gonna lie, I think many of you that are fans of this YouTube channel and that tune into the daily videos may be sick and tired of hearing about this guy every other day. But there's a reason for that. Not you being annoyed, I mean, there's a very clear reason as to why that may be the case, but there's a reason we're talking about this guy. And it's been so crazy just bringing him up every video because I have him on my fantasy team. If you hadn't already known, I've been posting about it every day. He gets a hat trick or something because when it comes to Chicago Blackhawks franchise forward Patrick Kane, he's gone out there and showed off to the hockey world that all the comments about, oh, he's washed, oh, he's not good anymore, oh, he's a waste of space, oh, he's worth so little money in comparison to the 10.5 AAV that he's getting until the end of this season. He's taken all of those comments, scrunched them all up into a ball, and tossed it down the back alleyway because this guy has single-handedly carried me in fantasy not only this week, but towards the end of last week too. We are in the semifinals of our Fantasy Yahoo League thing, and Patty Kane is the reason why I've gone out there and had a good amount of success the past little while. Of course, knock on wood, he goes out there and continues that. But Patrick Kane, in his last 5 games worth of play, has 7 goals and 3 assists for 10 total points. Last night, you had yourselves another amazing showcase of Patrick Kane dominance as him and Max Domi went out there and essentially willed the Blackhawks over the Dallas Stars. They won this game 4-3 after being down 3-0, and Patty Kane had 2 goals and an assist in the process. Not only that, but you had yourselves the 1 assist game he had against Vegas the other day, where he should have had the overtime goal on the slap shot that didn't count because it was scored like 0.001 seconds after the buzzer went off. You had the hat trick against Toronto, and then the 2-goal game against the Ottawa Senators. The past 4 games of Patty Kane have seen the guy legitimately put up 10 points, and he's looked so dominant, just like we know Patrick Kane is capable of being in these games. It's like a little switch flipped on and the guy saying, you know what, screw it, man. The New York Rangers didn't want me, well, I'm gonna go out there and show them what they're missing out on because I still have the talent, baby. Even though the fans may say I'm washed up, even though there might be this reputation that my glory days are behind me, I am still Patrick mother-freaking Kane, and I'm gonna go out there and score some goals. Here's a crazy stat that might blow your mind. Zawoski on Twitter said this: Patrick Kane has 7 goals in his last 4 games. In the previous 49 games, he only had 9 goals in total. It's crazy to see what elite franchise-altering players can do when they decide that they want to be franchise-altering forwards. Now, the reason we're making this video here today is because of an article published on ESPN by Emily Kaplan. Now, last time we talked about Patrick Kane, we went over the Elliot Friedman rumors, where he threw out 2 guesses as to where Kane would end up. He said Vegas, and he said Edmonton as the 2 teams in his conjecture over there. We made the video talking about what it would be like if Kane ended up on one of those 2 teams. But the reason we're making this video is because Emily Kaplan goes out there and writes about what a lot of people, myself included, thought was going to be impossible ever since the New York Rangers made that Vladimir Tarasenko trade. The article is right here, latest on Patrick Kane, Boston Bruins, and more trade buzz, published earlier yesterday. We'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read this yourself in full. Emily Kaplan pretty much writes out at the beginning that we're going to get clarity on Kane's decision this week. None of this has been easy for the veteran winger. Kane always envisioned himself retiring as a Blackhawk, and it's been over the past several months and maybe even the past several weeks that he was forced to accept that that vision might not be realistic anymore. Based with the conversations I've had with sources around the NHL, the behind-the-scenes talks with the Rangers were more advanced than have been reported. There was a path for Kane going to New York, his preferred destination should he leave Chicago, and then it felt as suddenly if it was taken away, which is why you saw him react so vulnerably to the Tarasenko trade. And this is where things get really interesting. Kane is recalibrating again. I believe he's asked to explore whether going to the Rangers is still an option. It's not impossible, but it would require some serious maneuvering. Kane also must consider what else is available. I know the Hurricane Stars are interested, I believe the Golden Knights and Edmonton Oilers are as well, and there could be a mystery team too. But even though there is more written about in this piece, link in the description if you want to go ahead and see all that, it's kind of mind-boggling to me. But Showtime, Patty Kane himself, is, according to what is written about in this article, still desiring to go to New York. And with this being published the way it has been, we've been seeing many netizens going out there and talking about the idea as if it was still possible. Patty Kane to the Rangers post-Tarasenko trade? Could the Rangers get themselves yet another superstar forward to add onto their playoff roster and make themselves a lineup that could very well be the NHL's first ever super team? This is what John from Hot Take Hockey said. By the way, love John. Shout out to John from Hot Take Hockey if you are not subscribed to him on YouTube or following him on Twitter. If the Rangers somehow trade for Patrick Kane, you would have a lineup that looks like this. Panarin, Zibanejad, Tarasenko, Kreider, Trocheck, Kane, Lafreniere, Cheeto, Kakko, and Mott, Gaudreau, and Vesey. Unreal. The power play would have so many options. Lock in a round 2 Hurricanes-Ranger rematch, and the Rangers would be a top cup contender. And this is where things get really interesting because you have a lot of mix and matching going on right here. The kid line as the third line is a very nice line for sure, but that fourth line, man, with the addition of Tyler Mott onto this team, adding Jimmy Vesey too, this could be a really solid lineup throughout the entirety of its structure for the Rangers heading into the postseason. We've noted in a prior video that Vesey is playing in the top 6. Because he's actually good and he excels in that position. What more, sending him to a fourth line with Tyler Mott, who is a very big fan favorite in New York, and for fantastic reason. He is a talented hockey player for what he is. And you have yourselves a Patrick Kane who could go back with Artemi Panarin and continue their reign of terror over the NHL in that way. Of course, there would have to be some incredible cap shenanigans, probably a third team involved. The Rangers may not have any prospects at the end of this entire ordeal, but I don't know, man. It's been a sentiment that I've seen growing a lot on Rangers social media as well, saying, hey, we should get this guy. Why not make a trade for Patty Kane? Look at how good he's doing. Everybody's talking about how he's washed. Well, he's not washed anymore. Have you seen what he's done the past 4 games he has played? 10 points in 4 games, and this guy's looking unstoppable. It's almost like he decided to try, because now that Tarasenko went over to New York, he was like, darn it, man, I have to really show teams that my hip problem that everybody's talking about isn't really that big of a deal, and I can still be a very valuable piece for your playoff hopes in 2023. Sure, he might re-sign somewhere else by the time the 2023 offseason comes around, but who cares? Patty Kane is so good, and for a low price of maybe 10.5 AAV, retained 75% with a third team involved, he can be yours. You just have to give up a bunch of prospects and maybe some other stuff too. So, link in the description to the article that Emily Kaplan wrote, and I want you to tell me in the comments, what do you think about the idea of the Rangers getting Patty Kane still? We've talked all this talk about other teams, Edmonton, Toronto, he shut down the Toronto rumors, there was Friedman talking about Vegas too, but New York, are they still in it? And if so, how good is this team going to be? Is that the easiest slam dunk third round appearance we're going to see in the NHL in a while? Because I'm telling you right here, you talk about the super teams like Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman, Vasilevsky, that's fantastic. But Igor Shesterkin, Tarasenko, Panarin, Zibanejad, and Patrick Kane, Fox too, that sounds as good, if not maybe even a tad better. I don't know, I feel like I just committed grand larceny by saying that right there, but thoughts in the comment section below. Patty Kane to the Rangers once again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.